Hi everyone, my name is Rachel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I make scrapbooking process videos and also do live scrap and chats every month. I hope you enjoy my little corner of the big crafty world, and if you'd like to watch more, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to always know when I have a new video. If you could also give me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Alright everyone, let's start scrapping!
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stash Bash with Rachel and Kelly. Today, Kelly and I are working on this 2-page sketch from Page Maps. This is one of the ones they actually released in January 22, and I suggested to Kelly, hey, why don't we work with a sketch, and gave her a couple of examples, and she liked this one, so that's what we're going to work with. Now, I'm working with Simple Stories Hello today, which is not very old. It is from 2020, but I actually have a ton of this. I have like the collection pack plus separate pieces, and then I have the quarantine portion that actually went along with this that they released, but this actually is from before quarantine, so I'm not going to be using it. But anyway, going ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward, and before I do, two things. One, if you could go into the description box and make sure you check out Kelly's video. And then two, if you could please flick me a thumbs up, because that would be super awesome. All right, everyone, let's get going. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of me poking around. I have a ton of this line, as I said. So I've got all of the papers, doubles of most of them, and I'm just kind of poking through, seeing what I want. I know what the sketch looks like. I know what I want. I really like this cream and black scattered polka dot look, but it's also in a scalloped sticker, a border sticker, which with the sketch has a scallop border. So I thought I'd use that. So even though I really like this paper, it doesn't make sense to use the paper along with the sticker, because it'll be just too much of that scattered cream and black dot. So I'm just kind of trying to think what will work in addition to that. I go and get some cardstock from Close to My Heart, and I'm looking for one I have two pieces of, and I have two pieces of this sapphire paper. I'm going to use the lighter side rather than the darker side. And in reality, this color isn't even in this line. It's more that it matches with the sky in all of my photos. So I pull out this half wood grain, half colors of the collection polka dot, and then the tone-on-tone leafy pattern, and then also this multicolor floral, but a lot of black and cream. So I'm using two different multicolors, but one of them has a lot of black and cream, so it's not like too in your face. And I'm kind of just poking through, seeing if I like something better. There is a version of the floral where it's just black and cream, but I really want the pops of small color that are in the other piece of paper. Then I'm looking to see if there's anything specific in my larger scraps of the cut apart parts that I really like, because I've learned my lesson to not, to look at the other side first and make sure there isn't something you're absolutely in love with. There isn't normally anything I'm hugely in love with. But occasionally there is, and then I get annoyed at myself for having trimmed through something I really thought I'd use. No big deal in the larger scheme of things, but it's annoying in the moment. So what I'm doing now is basically just cutting all of my papers to look like what the sketch looks like. Now, I'm not going to 100% go with what the sketch looks like, but I'm going to stick pretty close, which is normal for me when I'm doing a sketch. So I'm just trimming things apart in 4-inch increments and 2-inch increments, what I know I'm going to use as the sketch shows. the polka dot is going to be the outer edge of what stretches across both sheets of paper. So I'm going to trim down about 1 inch on the paper that's going to go on the left-hand side. And then here's where I'll do that. The other piece I'm using is that floral with the colorful butterflies, and I also cut off 1 inch because those line up. And then there is, in the sketch over on the left-hand side, kind of a chunk of paper, of vertical paper, that goes behind the photo over on the left-hand side. And then I'm also going to cut a length of this rainbow stripe because there's also a full vertical stripe of paper over on the right hand side, and that's what I'm going to use that rainbow paper for. And then my ATG is going to decide not to work, so I had to trim out a bit there so I could get the ATG back in order. So I'm getting my papers glued down, and I'm usually quite horrible at lining up the papers from the right hand side, to the left hand side and vice versa. But today I actually do pretty well. Usually I line this all up and then I knock it 1/2 inch off and then it's all wackadoo. But I do pretty well. I've already I'd done it a little over, so it's like 1/8 of an inch off to the left. So I'd already trimmed off the left hand side of the right hand piece. And here I'm like, wait, let's make sure I have actually the right piece of paper on the right side of the paper. And you understand I'm talking about different papers at this point. Cardstock versus patterned. And I'm just first I'm gonna try it, just put it right across the top, and then I realize I think I need it just a little bit overlapped. So I go ahead and do that. I'm taking a lot of chances with my inability to line up my left-hand side from my right-hand side with this particular layout, but as I said, it actually lined up pretty well. I'm not concerned about the patterns matching up. They're very random in the first place, so I really was not concerned with them lining up. So now I've got my photos. Now, as I said, I'm not going to fully match up the sketch. First of all, because the 2 horizontal photos I'm working with are 4x6, not 3.5 by 5, I think is what in the sketch called for. And I was not going to trim them down because I didn't feel like it. More than anything, I just didn't feel like it. Now I'm looking for a paper to mat the photos on the right-hand side. I think about using that aqua data table pattern, but there's already aqua in the polka dot paper, and then there's the darker teal and aqua over on the viney paper. So I decide instead to go with this yellow orange dot tone on tone paper, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And as I said, because I've got the 4x6 horizontals, it's going to be taller than the original photo section in the sketch. So I just go ahead and trim it so it's a big square. Well, not, you know what I mean. It's a rectangle, but you get my point. And so over on the left hand side, I've got that other selfie of both my nephew and my best friend. And what I'm doing now is I am piecemealing the border strip so that it fits on the top of that floral page, but stretching what is a 12-inch long border strip across a 24-inch piece of paper, which I can do because of that big photo mat section. So it worked. I was very happy with it. Yay! Originally, I was going to actually use, because I have 2 sticker sheets, I was just going to use them both. But when I'm like, well, with this photo mat that's much larger, I don't need to waste half of it. I can just tuck it behind and no one will know. So originally, this smaller photo is supposed to be over on the left-hand side, but I don't love it there. And because I said, as the discrepancy of, excuse me, I have the hiccups, I apologize. the discrepancy of the photo sizes, it actually worked out better over on the right-hand side. And now I'm just tucking that vertical piece of rainbow paper behind there. And I'm really happy with the way the right-hand side of the paper is looking. And now I just need to work on the left-hand side. So I get down that piece of paper and the 4x6 photo over there, and I'm actually so happy that I moved the photo because it made room for a very large kind of mixed bag type of title. I'm going to use a couple of the thicker words from the line, and then I'm not in the video, not even in the close-up photos, but way at the end. So in the last final photo, you'll see it if you watch all the way to the end. I added some thickers to the title. So the entire title ends up being Beach Walk Memories. And then I'm also going to add a piece of this die cut in a little bit. Oh, I like that orange camera, so I'm going to pull out that. So I've gone through all the die cuts. I pull out the one that says fun is being together or something along those lines. And then I go through the other die cut pack, which is like the journaling in bits. And I pull out a journal piece that actually matches it's rimmed in that rainbow stripe paper. So I pull that out. I pull this one, but I'm not going to end up using it. And that's the Here and Now die cut that I'm going to use as part of the title. And then, as I said, I'm thinking about what I can use. I like the ampersand, but it's too long, and that's when I find the matching rainbow stripe. And that's what I'm going to use for my journaling, which I'm actually not going to do on camera. It was kind of one of those things where I needed to think about how I was wording it, and that was this was already long enough. So I decided to turn off the camera to do the journaling. I also, as I said, added the word beach walk. And I'm talking about how for both my nephew and my best friend, going to the beach, and this is like early March in Connecticut. It is not beach weather here in March. It is barely beach weather here in June. Connecticut's more like August is the beach weather. But, I do add a little die cut just basically as a layering piece. I liked the weathered wood because you don't really see anything and it didn't make sense. I don't even remember what the little art was, but it definitely did not make sense. I then also add 3 of these phrase stickers from the 12x12 sticker sheet, and then I'm going to pop up that fun is time with you, or whatever it says. I cannot remember for the life of me, on very thin pop dots, and go ahead and add those. And that way it kind of adds a little dimension there. I have also added that little other rainbow die cut, as well as the Here and Now, and then the journaling bit. And I make sure that the stripe is horizontal. Ms. Xanthi is making herself known. So it matches the horizontal stripe that's running vertical over on the right-hand side. I'm looking back at the stickers. I know I want to add something. I decide on adding a couple of the hearts from the thicker pack. And then I also add some enamel dots that I had that I'm pretty sure actually go with this collection for some reason, though they were just sitting on my desk. Do I know why? No, I do not. All right, we're actually almost reaching the end of what I videotaped. As I said, I added some more of a title and the journaling, and you can see that in the final photo if you hang on all the way to the end. While I'm shimmering misting with some Junie Be Blue. No, please don't eat my pens. That's to Xanthi, by the way. Just want to remind you, if you could visit Kelly, her link is in the description box below, and if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. All right, everyone, thank you. Bye.